All right, this is Utah Middle School Math Project 1.2C, which is creating and solving linear equations to model real-world problems, but this is part 2. We've done one similar to this. This is going to be part 2, where we are writing equations with variables on both sides. So for this lesson, we are going to be writing and then solving equations. This one, the equation is already written, but we need to interpret the different parts of that equation to make a story. What we know is that the number of people at a birthday party is P. The cost of a party at Boondocks is 8P plus 60, and the cost of a party at Raging Waters is 20P. So we need to interpret what every part of that actually means. What is this 8P plus 60? Why would we be taking that P, which is the people, and multiplying it by 8? And then what does that plus 60 actually mean? Gabe, thank you for volunteering. Yeah, the 8P is $8 times how many people? So why would we be paying $8 times the number of people? Probably because it's $8 for every person, right? So this 8P is the $8 per person. So my story is going to be at Boondocks. It is $8 per person. But we haven't addressed this other part here. What is this extra plus 60? What does that represent? Porter. Yeah, it's an extra $60 that we have to pay. Why would we have to pay that? Probably because it's a fee. We have to reserve a party room. We have to pay for a party planner who's going to put some things together. But it's an extra $60 for some reason. So at Boondocks, it's $8 per person plus an extra. $60 fee. To pay for a party room. I'm just making that up. I don't really know, but I'm going to say it's to pay for a party room. With that same logic, what is this going to represent here? The 20p. What is that 20p going to represent? Ethan. Yeah, at Raging Waters, now it's $20 per person. And this next part is where it gets to be just a little bit strange, so I'll help you out with that one. Here we have the cost of the party at Boondocks. The 8P plus 60 is the cost of the party at Boondocks. This 20P is the cost of the party at Raging Waters. And you can see that for some reason, we've set Boondocks equal to Raging Waters. Why? Why would we set them equal to each other? Good, I'm glad to see that there's hands, Seth. Yeah, we were trying to figure out when are they going to be the same price. Exactly. When are they the same? Because what we're doing when we solve this equation, we're going to end up with an answer that says P is equal to. Remember, what does the P represent? The number of people. So we're really saying for how many people will it be the same price? Because maybe if we have 10 people, it'll be cheaper at Boondocks. Where maybe if we have 5 people, it'll be cheaper at Raging Waters. So we're trying to figure out when are they going to be the same price so that we can make better decisions about where we want to have this birthday party. So when are they the same price for how many people? And now we can solve to be able to answer that question. So we wrote a story that matches the expressions and equations. Let's include that question part. What we're really saying is for how many people will the cost be the same at each place? And when we solve that equation that's already written for us, that's when we're going to be able to answer that question. So solve the equation in the space above, which means I am going to have to erase this question that I asked. so that we have enough space to solve that equation. I'm going to pause the recording because you students have enough practice with this. You can do this on your own, and then we can just talk about what that actually, or what that answer actually represents, which is part C. So parts B and C with your groups, pausing the recording now. Ready, set, go. All right, let's solve this. Equation's already written, so now it's just time to solve. I'm going to move the p's so that they're only on one side of the equation, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8p from each side. That leaves me with 60, which is equal to 12p. We can go ahead and divide each side by 12, and that's how we get 5 is equal to p. So we solved the equation, but what does that mean? Interpret that. What does that mean, Brock? Exactly. 5 people at the party. Cost will be the same at each place. Good. Let's do the second one. This time, it's a problem about savings. The number of weeks is W, so just remember that, the number of weeks is W. Sophie's money is 300 minus 40W. Think about what that actually means. Raphael's money is 180 plus 20W, so think about what that means with W representing the weeks. And then what does it mean when we set those equal to each other? See if you can write a quick story. Pause the recording, give yourself a chance to give that an attempt while students in class discuss with their groups. Ready, set, go. Okay, what does 300 minus 40W, what do you think that means? How can we write a story to explain that? Not enough hands. You had lots of time to discuss. I should see a lot more hands. Danielle, will you get me started, please? Not too bad, but I really liked the part where you started. She has $300. What is this minus 40W? What does that part mean? I know you're trying to connect it to what we've done before, like the cost is $12 less than it was. But this needs to be interpreted just a little bit differently. Minus 40W. Seth, what do you think? Good. Yeah, so something like this where we're subtracting, that means that the money is going down. Why would the money be going down? Maybe she's paying for a subscription, like Seth suggested. Maybe she's just spending money. How much is she spending each week? $40. So if you want to come up with a story about why she's spending money, maybe she's buying a new outfit every week, maybe she's paying for a subscription service every week, something like that. But Sophie does have $300. And spends $40 each week on coffee of the month, coffee of the week subscription. It's expensive coffee. Okay, let's talk about Raphael. What is this 180 plus 20W? What does that mean? Sam? Yes, Raphael has $180. Sure, exactly. This time, the money is going up. So why would the money be going up? He's getting an allowance. He's earning money. He's stealing money, something, I don't know. Money going up. Raphael has $180. And he earns $20 a week mowing lawns. Why am I setting them equal? What would we be trying to do if I'm setting those equal to each other? Daxton. Not necessarily how much they make a week, because we can see that Sophie's money is going down and Raphael's money is going up. So we're not really concerned about how much they're making each week because they're different things. Sophie's going down, she's spending money. Raphael's going up, he's saving money. So we're not trying to figure out how much they earn a week. Discuss with your groups one more time. Now that we've really written stories to interpret what these mean, why would I set them equal? Quick conversation at your tables, go. Okay, here's some more hints. This right here, this represents Sophie's money, right? And this right here represents Raphael's money. What am I really trying to do when I set them equal to each other? Seth. Exactly. Sophie and Raphael have the same amount. What am I really finding out? Sam. Exactly. We're seeing that this is Sophie's money, which is, according to this equation, equal to Raphael's money. Are they equal in the beginning if Sophie has 300 and Raphael has 180? No, that's not equal, but other things are happening, so we're trying to figure out when are they going to have the same amount of money. Please add that to your story. When will Sophie and Raphael have the same amount of money? After how many weeks? And that's when we solve this equation, which I'm just going to rewrite below. 300 minus 40W is equal to 180 plus 20W. Pause the recording so that you can get this solved, and then you can come back and check your answer. Sam, your hand was raised? Okay, so we're going to solve by moving the W's to just one side. Right here I have minus 40W. I'm going to move that to the other side by adding 40W and balance it by doing the same thing to the other side of the equation. So that part zeroes out. Leaves me with 300, which is equal to 180 plus 20W plus 40 more W is 60W. I can then subtract 180 from each side. And that gives me 120, which is equal to 60W. We can divide each side by 60. And we get 2 is equal to W. What does that mean? Interpret what that actually means. Not enough hands. Go back and talk with your groups if you need to, and then I want to see every hand up. Okay, now let's see those hands. What does W equals 2 actually mean? Peyton. Yes, after 2 weeks, they have the same amount of money. Now there's other ways we could have done this. We could have made tables, and we eventually are going to also figure out how to do this with graphs, but we can set them equal to each other and solve to figure out that after 2 weeks they will have the same amount of money. Let's move on to the next set of problems, where this time the story is written, and we're going to take the story that is written and write our own equations. So Horizon Phone Company charges $15 a month plus 10 cents per text. G-Mobile charges a flat rate of $55 per month with unlimited texting. At how many texts would the two plans cost the same? Which plan is the better deal if you spend 200 texts, or not spend, send 200 texts per month with your groups? I want you to at least get started. Then we'll go over it together, but at least get started with your groups. Pausing the recording, ready, set, go. All right, Kaden, go ahead and give it a try. What do you think this is going to look like? You are so close. One change that I want to make. Do you see it, Brock? Or, sorry, Tage? No, this is better. It's 15 plus 10x because we're paying $15. The 10 cents is the part that's changing and going up based on how many texts. Kaden, what is the change that we need to make? Yeah, 0.10, because this means $15 plus $10 more for every text. Would you still send text if it was $10 a text? I didn't think so. But it's only 10 cents a text, so 0.10x. That's the only change that I would make. Good catch on that, Kaden. So again, let's take a look. This right here tells me what Horizon's phone plan is, how much we're spending with Horizon. And this amount here is the flat rate for G Mobile. We don't have to pay any extra for any extra text, but notice that the cost is significantly higher right out of the gate. Horizon, much lower cost, but we're paying for every single text that we send. So we set them equal because we're trying to figure out when are the two plans going to cost the same. When are they equal? When are they balanced? Now we have an equation to solve. Let's solve it. We subtract 15 from each side. That leaves me with not just 10x, but 0.10x, 10 cents per text. 55 minus 15 is equal to 40. We divide each side by 0.10. What do we get? 40 divided by 0.10. Jaden, I did get 400 as well. X is equal to 400. Interpret that. What does that mean? 400 texts. Yep. 400 texts. Cost is the same. Now answer the next part. The next part says, which plan is the better deal if you send 200 texts per month? Which plan is going to be the better deal if you send 200 texts per month? I need to see more hands. It's these same students who are getting citizenship boosts. Luke. It's right there, right on your paper. How do you know? Yep. So we can just take our expression part of that equation, 15 plus 0.10, only we're multiplying it by 200 because that's how many texts are sent. This is $20, as Luke said, so 15 for the initial fee plus $20 is equal to $35. That's a lot cheaper than what we're paying with G-Mobile, right? So which plan is the better deal for 200 texts a month? Horizon. Okay, 4 and 5, I think that's all that we have left, and then it's homework, yeah. So 4, pausing the recording again, give yourself a chance to read through it, talk with your groups, see if you can write, and then solve an equation. We'll talk about it as soon as we're done. With your groups, ready, set, go. The enrollment in dance class is currently 80 students and is increasing at a rate of 4 students per term. The enrollment in choir is 120 students and is decreasing at a rate of 6 students per term. After how many terms will the number of students in dance class equal the number of students in choir? How many students will be in each class, Maverick? Okay, 120 minus 60 or plus a negative 60, either way works. Because this shows that we're losing 6 students per term. Shows where we started, shows where we started, and shows that we're gaining 4 students per term. This is great. Perfect equation. Now we solve it. Yes, there's a comment, Sam. Okay, and just for the sake of time, we're going to go through this very quickly. We're going to add our 6t to each side so that I don't have to deal with negatives. This is 80 plus 10t is equal to 120. We subtract 80 from each side. And that's how we get 10t is equal to 40. Divide each side by 10. And we get t is equal to 4. But what does that mean? What does that t equals 4 really mean, Dexton? 4 terms. After 4 terms, same number of students in each class. And for the sake of time, we don't have time to finish number 5. But you can finish your homework. We've done problems just like the ones that you're going to see in your homework. So your homework is 1.2c, the homework section. Yes, it is all the problems. which is the same amount that we did in class. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.